Hello everyone and welcome to Malts and Meeples. I want to see what the color looks like. Okay, that looks normal. I think the monitor color is just off that I can see myself on mainly. But, yeah, as I was saying, welcome to Malts and Meeples. Got old fashioned here. And we're going to be tackling On Tour. On Tour is going to be a roll and write game from Board Game Tables. Same company that actually made my, board game table. They also make games. On Tour, maybe they're best known. They also have QE as well. One that I own, but I need to play. They're starting to put out a bunch more games too, because I remember correctly, Ghost of Christmas, trick-taking game is theirs as well. But chatting and playing, and that is the plan for today. You're going to hear creaking, most likely. The toddler is moving around upstairs. He most definitely should be sleeping at this point in time. But let's hop down to the table and get to it. I want to double check that this looks right on my end as well. Yes, it does. So, On Tour. On Tour is a game where you are trying to connect routes in numerical order from low to high, and the longest contiguous route you get scores you 1 point per location that you go through. Now, if I place in Idaho, not just in the western area, I can circle it. It gives me an additional point. So you count everything that you've connected plus every circle that you've connected, and that is going to be how the game works. Or at least real quick overview before we dive into it here at the table. There's actually a really nice app for this game that unfortunately isn't free anymore. I don't blame them for not having it free. They did a really good job with it. But it was originally released free for a very short period of time. And so I grabbed it then when I heard about it. But if you want to learn how to play the game, that certainly is a solid way to do so. Need to figure out, I think, where I want the light at the end. In particular, I think the other lights work pretty well. Sorry. I am critiquing my own setup here. I do also want to get a better camera at some point in time. But the issue with getting a better camera is that's a few $1,000 investment. Well, it doesn't have to be, but it's going to be a chunk of an investment. I'm going to keep on moving this until I get it out of screen over off to this side. So, let's chuck some dice and get started. So first thing we do is pre-populate the fields with a 1 in Georgia. Come on, give me boo, and a 10 in California. At least they're circled. And then roll again. 27, South Carolina. Boo. 72 in Washington. That's a little bit better. So the reason I say boo is obviously now I have a low and a fairly low, considering we can go all the way up to well, 99 here. So, what to chat about today? I guess let me pop back up real fast here. Just give anybody a chance to join. The next campaign game that I'm going to be streaming, and I already have a placeholder upcoming live stream video out for next Wednesday. And I'm going to be streaming campaign on Wednesday, something else on Mondays. From here on forward, that's my plan. Like top 10 lists, conversations, stuff like that. But the game that was voted upon, and it was actually tied, so I picked the one that I was more interested in, was playing the second edition of the Pathfinder Adventure card game. This is going to be a card game set kind of with the Paizo D&D-esque type characters. Pathfinder is the biggest competitor to D&D, kind of as an RPG. It came out originally of the 3.5 D&D edition. And I have played the original. I enjoyed that. There's actually an app for that. If you want to give it a whirl, the app does a solid job with that. I think I prefer it on the table, but it's close. And the second edition I don't know much about other than I want to give it a whirl, see what happens with it. So that's going to be coming up next Wednesday. On Monday, I want to, I think, start doing some more. I think I want to go with like a top 10 followed by a topic. Kind of alternate that every other Monday. So give me your top 10 ideas. You can do that. Leave them down in the comments or in this live chat in the comments. Let me know what you would like to see a top 10 done of, because I'm sure I can come up with a lot of things myself, or I can copy stuff that the Dice Tower does, because they have a lot of really fun ones. But let me know. Let me know what you'd like to see. And we're back to the table. So, first roll. 13 and 31. All right. So we can go in the north in Montana. North Montana. Central Louisiana. Or central Iowa. Let's go Louisiana with a 13. Get that circled. I'm not going all the way to Iowa for the 31. I'm going to stick that in Indiana because I can do 2 in the central because I have 2 cards that are in the central. Even with that, I have this top one, which is in the north. And my goal right now is to connect here, 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 here. Oh, there is no connecting line there. Well, my goal is to loop kind of up and around like that for my tour starting in Georgia. So then, all of these go away. And eventually we'll get to an example here where I roll doubles. You don't need to worry about what happens if you roll a double until, well, that actually happens. We have 63 and 36. Well, 36 definitely should go in the north. Go here. Because we're looping like that. And then I have all of the west for 63. Let's put it down here. Ooh, that is Utah. Gets me a circle. And I'm going to start just kind of filling stuff in here. So, since you can't see this one, east Pennsylvania, PA, north Oregon, OR, west Utah, UT. I'll try and read them out better as I go. Ooh, almost got that double. 55 or 56 and 65. We have the South Kentucky, South Oklahoma, and Central Kansas. Ooh. Well, let's do Central Kansas for that 56. And then the 65, I don't want to put it in Oklahoma. I don't want to put it in Kentucky. I want to have it, actually, let's do it here in Wyoming. Oh, that's not in the South, though. Can't put it there because I have to do South. Well, I guess I can loop this way and come back there. So Nevada. And I'm going to start to fill in the lines between stuff just because that makes it easier to play along with. So, topic for today. I keep on coming back to that. I haven't actually said what the topic for today is. I've talked about the game that's coming up and the campaign gameplay. But topic 57 and 75. Nice. Come on, give me west. Oh, south, that worked. Oh, perfect. Unfortunate, actually. I'll explain why in a second here. But I think I don't know. It has been a long day for me. I wanted to just kind of chat, and I was like, okay, I can come up with a topic on the fly. I maybe can't, but I think one thing that I've wanted to chat about kind of is just the balance of what I do as a content creator for Nerdologist.com, for Malts and Meeples, for 10 Minute Marvel, with the rest of my life. I do want to put that one there. This is a tentative line. I mean, that's not a bad combo. 75. I can't go anywhere all that useful with that. I do have south. Let's just bury it in the corner. 75. Because it's a challenge. Not so much for me doing these streams, me writing my articles. 78, 87. Oh, come on, give me north. South, of course. North, okay. South in Tennessee, north in West Virginia, and north in Nebraska. These videos, I mean, I have so much fun doing them. The work of doing these streams is not really work for me. The effort put in for doing the podcast, I mean, editing can be a little bit of work. For writing articles for Nerdologist.com, it's not really work. But the trick is when I'm really busy with my day job, how do I kind of keep up that energy? And a lot of it is I need to, I go insane otherwise. Well, this is easy. 78 in Idaho, 87 in Nebraska to get that circle. But doing this stuff can be work at times. It can be it can be tough because of work. So 66 since I got a double, what that means is with my South Nevada, South Alabama, or North Dakota, I can fill in anything with a star. Really, I could fill in anything with a star because I cover South and North. I'm doing this Alabama one because now start to build out the planned connections. I start with the 1, and that counts as a 1. So you fill in a single spot with a star whenever you roll doubles. And if you can match it up to a location, the better. Toddler really doesn't want to sleep tonight, which is a shame because he really didn't want to nap today. Which is some of why I'm bringing up this topic. Since his daycare was closed, I stayed home from work. And while work is pain in the butt right now, 68 and 86, I mean, it's fairly easy. We have a north-northwest. Illinois, New York for north, and west is Idaho. If I go 68 here and 86 here, my current path, best path, is looking like that. I need to start rolling some lower numbers so I can connect these things over here. $27 and 72. No spot to stick that 72 to connect. It's a shame. 27 though is useful. Central. East. East. So we're going to bury it in the corner 72 here. Allergy season. It's the somethingest. Yeah, let's do it in Kentucky. So it can just be taxing. Life itself can be taxing, and my philosophy, and kind of why I can always do my articles, I can always put out the podcast, even though, like I said, that one is a little bit harder because there is the editing that I do with that. And why I can always do these videos is that this is not work time. This is me separating it from everything else. And I really look at my job as a means to an end. Like, I have to do the work that I'm doing to be able to buy the equipment that I have, which I want to upgrade, to be able to buy the games that I'm playing, the game table that I'm playing on. Come on, double. 59 and 95. Well, 95 is not bad. North Ohio, yeah. No. Central Indiana, already got that covered. And East Mississippi. That would be a dumb choice. So, let's see, 95. Let's put that here in North Dakota. And then 59. I don't have... that's frustrating. Because I want to put it in New Mexico, but I don't have any west. I could do it in Oklahoma, but that would require a tight run of cards. We're going to try it, though. 59 in Oklahoma. So, I guess that's a question to ask or try and have answered on this stream is, like, how do you create that separation, that space, So that, yes, you can. 73 does me no good. North Michigan, West Wyoming, East Virginia. 73 in East Virginia. Not West Virginia, East Virginia. How do you create that balance so that work doesn't become so much that 37 that it's a drag and ruins your fun for your other times, but also so that I guess two questions that I'm going to try and answer or talk about here is work ruining your fun, but also what do you do for fun to separate from work? Ooh, 80 and 8. Come on. Okay. So, East North Carolina, South Missouri, West New Mexico. Perfect. So we'll put the 80 in Montana and 8 in Mississippi. Because I think it's a legit question for a lot of us who love the board game hobby, or maybe who have, there are plenty of people who have side projects, sort of things that we do that may not pay the bills. 13 and 31. All right, let's see. Some good ones here. East, South, East, Mid Coast, South Texas, Central Arkansas. Well, I want Arkansas for sure, because you can connect like numbers. And then I have East going over here. We're getting close to having a pretty decent connection here. If I can fill in these two, or these two, and then this one as well. All of these are basically dead for me, though I guess I could put something in there. Because I do find, back on topic, I find that board games are my way to relax. Board games are what I do to kind of just chill out and relax and have a good time, because there is a lot in life of just stress, and my job can be fairly stressful, and that's not a bad thing. I don't mind stress in a job. I don't mind deadlines. I don't mind things that kind of challenge me. I do mind when I'm trying to figure out how to put this right. I mind when those things are done in such a way that it becomes something I have to, or I'm expected to take home. Because that's not my job. My job is not to be thinking about what I'm doing or working on what I'm doing 60 hours a week. I'm not getting paid nearly enough to do that. So, board games are a way for me, though, to stay engaged. And I'll explain this here in a second. I have to reshuffle these cards. You do go through them multiple times. I mean, potentially a lot. The more stars you get. And ideally, you want to get a lot of stars. Ooh, wow. A 13 and 31 again. Yeesh. Do I have a spot for that 31? Yes, I do. North, that's good. South, that works. North Minnesota, South Colorado, Central Wisconsin. But the idea that work is kind of the ends to my means, it's something that I feel like can be lost. Do I want to put it there? I have such a gap in numbers. If I put it in Missouri, put the 13 in Missouri, I just need to, well, I'm connected, so yes. Because right now, this is my route. I'm just missing, oh no, I can't put it there. Can't put it there to connect to that 56. Good thing I look. 13. Don't need any more low numbers because we are connected up through there. I'm looking for those mid numbers. But anyways, back to what I was chatting about. 98 and 89. All right. North. Nope. North. Nope. North. Wow. I can't actually use any of those. I wanted it here and here. Ideally. Can't do that. But board games... So the idea of a board game... That was always going to be tough, but let's do 98... 89 is that it keeps me thinking, and board games keeping me thinking is great because I don't want to come home. Those don't help me at all. I'm still looking for those two numbers to connect in the mid. East 71, 17. Because something like this, I'm thinking as I go, but it's fun thinking, which work. Oh my goodness, 98 and 89 again. North. Nope. North. Nope. North. Forgot to read those off. West Washington, East Mississippi, South Arizona. But I think so this conversation is a little bit coming up and in my head with the work gaming balance, the work life balance, the work as the means for what I'm doing. A little bit because recently Board Game Co. Come on, 81 and 18. 18 doesn't help me. 81 doesn't help me. Quit his job. Something that I'm nowhere near at the point I could do. Nor, I don't know that... Let's see. So I need those two. I don't know that I want to quit my job and do something like this full time. I think it could be cool, but... 48, 94. 48, that's good. 84, not so much. North. North, north, north. Wow, where were those norths earlier? But that does mean that this is always going to be more of a hobby. Not a bad thing. Let's see. 48 is better there than there. 84 is going to just get buried in a corner. But I think I think I need to put it here. And which is actually the better option because I have the gap. $80 and $8. So here's a fun thing. So I don't have south. I do have central. And I do have north. Okay. So 80 and 8. That means this whole great route I have worked out dies here and kicks over here, which is the nice thing about kind of drawing it out as you go, because it makes it easier to track. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25, not bad, not great. Already trying to get dry erase marks onto the neoprene mat, apparently. But I think it is an interesting question to ask. Like, how do you recharge after work? Because for me, like I was saying, it really is board games. Board games are my recharge. I can watch TV. I can sit down and watch TV, or do other things, but board games are really the best way for me to recharge. Shuffle this back up and let's play again. That was 25. I'm gonna mark that down just right here so I can track it later. I am so close to... Well, so I looked at the calendar year from May to May. It's not calendar year. I looked at a year from end of May to end of May, at the very end of May, and I had played 495 different games in that span. And my goal, like unofficial goal, was 500 plays this year. So I'm probably pretty good for that, because that did include October, which was low for me last year, though I played a bunch of solos, so we'll have to see. Let's reset this. 68, first one. Montana. And then 86 in like Minnesota would be great. North Dakota, 86. That's workable. And this seating 10 and 1, fun, 1 in Illinois, okay, 10 in Colorado. The trick with this is to make it work. I could just go blah blah, but that leaves the whole East Coast. Move those over. Definitely stop like halfway through a sentence. Then I'm trying to remember what it was. 47 and 74. South, Wisconsin, Central, South Oklahoma, Wisconsin, Central, East, Pennsylvania. Be right back. We're going to have some craft work, our Copper and Kings craft work here. Pop back up above the table. This is a brandy that is aged in beer barrels, actually, and this one is from an Imperial IPA. Super nice sipping brandy, which is really good because this is about a $45 bottle, which is more than I would generally spend on brandy. And I have another one that is a stout barrel aged bottle, which I would definitely not spend that much on brandy again. For that one, do 74 there. Now let's see, 47 should be about here. Do you have south? Yep. No, that's not circled. Well, let's see. I was talking kind of about the goals for my plan for this site or for this YouTube channel. 63 and 36. Central, north, west. Okay, let's do west, Washington, north, Minnesota, central, South Dakota. So we'll do 63 here. 36. We're pushing it. We're going for Texas. I'd love to build up this channel enough that it's monetized. That's kind of my goal, is about 1,000 subscribers. I'll be happy with that. It's monetized to the point where I mean, I don't know how much money people make off of YouTube. It's not that much. But between advertising on the website and I realize I'm above the table again here, as well as then the YouTube channel, that I could use that to offset the cost of a few games, smaller games every year, or use that to pay for the web hosting, or set aside a chunk to offset some of the costs of upgrading equipment from time to time. Brandy is a different animal to drink, by the way. Good, but a different animal. 54 and 45. All right. East, garbage. South, works. South, works. South, Kentucky and Alabama. East, Mississippi. So let's see. The 54 goes here, and the 45 goes there. But that's a long-term goal for me at this point. 8 and 80. 80, don't have a great spot for that. 8, certainly work that in, assuming I get the right stuff. Idaho in the west, south with Georgia, and south with Tennessee. We're going to... Yeah, let's put the 8, Tennessee, 80, let's put it in Virginia. But I'd be curious because, I mean, I know that I've connected over time with a number of different content creators, and for some of them, it is more of their job they're seeking to do. For others, it is a hobby, like me. 13 and 31, south in Florida, central with Iowa, in West with New Mexico. 31 is going to go in Louisiana. 13, let's do 13 in Florida. But also, for just you average, not average, you normal people, because I guess average, two words. Average sounds like a negative, but it's not really a negative. Like, being average is good, but normal sounds better. 54 and 45. Oh, I already had that once. Let's see what we get here. West California, North New York, South Carolina. Like, what do you expect from a content creator? And I'm going to go with, there's so many content creators out there who it isn't their full-time job for it. It can't be. There's only so much space for full-time creation. Broken Meeple, I think of his channel, or Glory Hound, her channel with Dr. Glory Hog, then Table Knots with Max and Doolin. It's not their full-time jobs. And like, what as a consumer of content do you kind of expect a content creator to put out? Because right now my goal is kind of 2 videos a week, 7 to 8 articles a week, which, if anybody wants to do, say, 2 articles a month on board games or any nerdy thing, definitely reach out to me, because at this point in time I can't pay you, but if you're interested in writing, if you want to help create a community and more content around nerdologist.com, for sure, reach out to me. And then the weekly podcast. So 10 things every week. Let's see. East definitely doesn't help. North, I can do 54 in North. In West, do 45 in West. So right now we're looking at not great, not horrible. We have so much left to fill in. If I could go, I'd consider that pretty good. But I'd be curious, to know what people expect, because I look at Board Game Co. Who had a job, and he's quit it at this point in time to focus on his YouTube channel full time. Finally. Oh, that's tempting. Less tempting. So, a star in either Utah. Not that useful for me in Utah. Central in Indiana. Or North in Ohio. Central in Indiana. Just to get that circle. This is risky. But I had to go through Kentucky anyways. Because, Board Game Co. was putting out, was it 14 videos a week? Maybe 12. Maybe he only did 1 on the weekends, but it was generally 2 a day during the week, and he would edit them some, And I appreciated the fact that he didn't edit them a ton. That is one thing that I am very in on at this point in time, because, like I said, it isn't my full-time job. Probably never will be. South Missouri, North Nebraska, and North Oregon. Let's just throw this into the corner. Let's do 23 in Mississippi and 32 in New England. New England's generally a dead corner anyways. But that's insane. Like, with light editing, no B-roll. Didn't really script anything, which helps, because you don't have to worry about that element. 43 and 34. Let's see, if I did 43 there and 34 there, that'd be great. East New England, North Michigan, East Virginia. Well, we're not getting either of them, because it has to be Central and South. Just burying them away in the corner. We have a lot of room to bury stuff. But that's a ton of work. And he was smartly latched onto the fact that there weren't many people looking at Kickstarters from the investment point of view. And even when I back a Kickstarter now, having watched his content, I still don't think about the investment point of view. If it's a Kickstarter that I'm not that interested in when it actually arrives, or it isn't for me, I'll probably trade it into my friendly local game store, just because 76 and 67. Interesting. East, North Carolina, Central Kansas, East, Mid-Coast. I'm burying way too many of these at this point. 76, not 8. I'm going to have like a crazy good chain. I don't, but I could have had a crazy good secondary chain being built. But it makes me wonder, okay, I do 2 videos a week. Should I be looking to record, say, like tonight? Tonight I could record a video once I'm done for like a review on a game that I've played, or something new that's come out, an unboxing. Like, I just got it in the Steel Slayer expansion, not Steel Slayer, the maybe it is called Steel Slayer. I have to look. That's just the Reckoners. Yeah, I think it is Steel Slayer expansion for the Reckoners. So I could do an unboxing of that, spend a little bit more time. Or I have Spirit Island down there that I just picked up. Or Bullet Star and the Deluxe Bullets upgrade pack. I could go through that. Is it worth it for me? And this is not a critique. South Arizona, North West Virginia, and South Texas. So you can do 2 in South. But it's what content would people want to see added? Because every piece of content that I add adds in time that I'm spending out of the day, which honestly is not that big a deal for me a lot of the time. I was commenting on how the toddler was still moving about as I started with this. My wife is I help with the early parts of putting him to bed, and then she wraps it up. Sometimes both of us, or one of us helps, or well, one of us would be me, So, sometimes I do the whole thing if she has something else going on. Otherwise, I do most of the start of stuff, kind of her as a backup, and then she finishes it off like reading the stories, putting them to bed, so I have a chunk of time in the evening potentially to record some stuff. However, he is directly above me, which means that I can hear like him running around like a herd of elephants at sometimes. Or the two new kittens will be in there with him or with them, and they'll be flopping around going crazy. So central Louisiana, Arkansas, and South Nevada. Well, let's put it here. 81. Nothing else. I add that. 18. There's nothing. Let's throw it in the corner. I really need these two. At least this one. At least Kentucky. Roll me a double, baby. 10 and 1. Okay, this is actually precisely what I need. West. That is precisely what I don't need. I need minimum of 1 east or south, ideally 2. Though once I get 2, there's very little for me to expand upon. I guess some stars or stuff like that thrown in there. I have room to fill in numbers, I guess. North, New York, Central Indiana. So, like I was saying, I needed east or south. Got neither. That is most unfortunate. That would have been the perfect thing to connect all of that. I'm just curious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. That's where I would have been sitting had that worked out. 74 and 47. Oh, that can work. 47 can't connect anymore. But I did get a west with Washington, south with Arizona, and south with Nevada. So if I do this here, that line can adjust. Clear out that one. Then somewhere in the south here, need that. All of these are kind of dead to me. Which I need to start filling them in because I have 1 spot left west, 3 spots left east, and 6 spots left central. But I guess back to it. The question that I posed. So, different content that I could review or, could do, but I haven't done a ton of, is I could do more reviews. Because I think that reviews are something that, there's a lot of people doing them. 5 and 50. Okay, 5 helps if I get it east. Don't have an east thus far. Okay, I have an east Pennsylvania, but the first one was central Louisiana. Then we have a south Texas. So So I'm really looking to fill that one in if I can. But if not, I'm only missing out those points. 50. It's not Utah. That one's going to be hard to fill in. Anyways, I have nothing left in the West. That's not great. That is a piece of the strategy that I just don't do that much. 26 and 62. 62 is dead to me. Georgia and South. It'd be great if that was something between 8 and 13. Oklahoma City in the South. Or Oklahoma. And Virginia in the East. Well, let's see. We have a 26. So we can go 26. Connect that. So that, and then 62. At that point in time, I'm drawing kind of dead on Oklahoma, so we'll circle it. So different types of content that I could do more of. 1, unboxings. 2, reviews. 3, I do kind of like the Man versus Meeple thing of doing like a here's 1 round or maybe 2 rounds, not the whole game, but sit down, show off how the game works, and then kind of talk about it after the fact, how everything ended up, kind of gameplay sort of thing. 4 is more Kickstarter stuff, which I feel like there's a lot of people doing that, but also it's an area that people look for the content. So do I want to jump into the same kind of field as a whole lot of other people? I've done that a little bit with the stuff that I've covered, like Rogue Angels, it's Arcane Minis, Aldara? Yeah, Aldara from Arcane Minis, and then there's... I should actually re-upload that video, just with the new graphic. Sorry, brain working off of some other things. And then there was Edgeguard as well, that I've done coverage for. Perdition's Mouth. But I'd love to... I mean, those are more preview type things, but I could certainly... 68 and 86. I mean, 86 won't be bad that way. East in South Carolina, Central in Wisconsin. You're gonna do the 86 circle there. South. I mean, that's fairly safe. 68. So my goal now is to either roll something like a star, 20 and 2. 2. Oh, okay, 2 does help me, 20 does not. Central in Iowa, North Dakota, North and Western Virginia. So 22. We now go there. This will theoretically be the last roll, though might not be. Give me a double, please. Give me a double. 36 and 63. Well, doesn't matter what happens here, really. North, Nebraska, East. Yeah, does not matter at all. And South, Missouri. I'll flip that last one in case it makes a difference for you. So, I guess, let me tally up the score and then we'll pop back up and talk a little bit more about kind of that Kickstarter crowdfunding side of things. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, either way, 26, 27. So, popping back up here, would people want to see more crowdfunding coverage? The idea would be maybe a once a week sort of thing where I look at a couple of games on Kickstarter, GameFound. I don't know the number that I'd look at, or I could look at everything that I have saved, but I mean, right, that's a little bit absurd. Or I could do it, you get the email every 48 hours when something is towards the end. I could record a video. I save so much stuff. I don't back, well, I back a fair amount. Probably back more, well, I definitely back more than the average human being. I probably back probably about as much as the average gamer. But I could try and do a really short video, kind of like the backer brick at the very end of campaign, final 48 hours. But even then, most of the time it probably come out with like 24 hours left or less. If you don't check this channel that regularly, that means, well, you didn't see it until after it's done. So I could do something where I like highlight my top 2 every week, because I'll probably continue to try and do Kickstarter preview coverage because I think it's useful. I think that there's probably some of you who are like, okay, yeah, my tastes match with Petters. So in that case, it's going to be useful for you. Or on the flip side, there are also some of you who are like, I would never touch any of the games that he plays with the 20-foot pole, or he likes roll and writes and I don't, so I know not to check out his roll and write stuff, or just know that I'm going to enjoy a roll and write, and because it's roll and write, you're not going to. That's kind of the point of knowing the person that you're watching. But that is fairly off the point, because potentially I could cover the big thing of the week and like a hidden gem that I found. Maybe that's what I'm going to do. Maybe that will be an additional video live stream that I put out every week. I record. That's the issue. My recording times are generally after this stream, which is only the case if Marvel doesn't have a Disney Plus show coming out, because I tend to like to watch those day of, or Monday, or on the weekend. I guess on the weekend I could probably generally carve out half an hour of time to talk about a couple different games on Kickstarter, especially if I don't necessarily stream it. But part of why I like streaming it is that I know two-thirds of videos I put out, I have people watching as I do it live, and I have people commenting as I flap my mouth about whatever I'm flapping my mouth about that day. So I wouldn't mind doing a Kickstarter video that way. So maybe that's what I'm going to do. Maybe I'm going to try and do that as an add-on. Or maybe I want to do reviews. I just don't know. And I also don't know. This is the tricky part of the topic that I think needs to get talked about with content creation. I don't know how much of my time I want to put in when I'm making $150 a year off of Google Ads. I'm not making anything off of this channel right now. The previews I've done, reviews, so stuff like Perdition's Mouth, Aldara, all those things. I mean, I got Perdition's Mouth from the publisher, which is amazing because it's legitimately a fun game. But it also means that how do I want to split my time on stuff? Maybe I do a couple quick reviews a week. Maybe I try and increase my content by doing scheduled releases. Say I record on Mondays after my live stream, or maybe I do one review on Monday that gets released during the day on Tuesday, and one review on Thursday that gets released, or Wednesday that gets released during the day on Thursday. And those are just kind of my days that I focus on recording. But I mean, it's a question that I'm asking myself. So, like I said, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What do you think is useful for me to cover? What content do you appreciate? And I mean, this upcoming Saturday, I'm going to be streaming. I was going to say streaming. It's not necessarily right. I'm going to be playing in a game of Rogue Angels with a 4-player game with the creator and a couple other content creators. And I'm just curious to know like what people think would be fun. Because everything I add takes time from everything else that I could potentially be doing. But at the same time, I really enjoy doing what I'm doing here on this channel. I enjoy doing what I'm doing on the Nerdologist.com website. I enjoy what I'm doing over on the 10-Minute Marvel podcast. So I don't necessarily want to stop anything else that I'm doing. I don't necessarily want to prevent myself from adding in more because it's going to be stuff that is fun doing. I just want to kind of try and figure out, and that's a question for myself, what I should be doing right now. What should I be adding? Are the 3 reasons to buy or not buy worth it as a video that I put up? Because I kind of have fun doing those. At the same time, they're outside of my normal kind of chat style of thing that I prefer. But they're not difficult to do. I'm not trying to sell you on more than a 2-3 minute overview of the video or of the game. So that, I mean, maybe that is something that I go back to doing. And I mean, I've done a few at this point. I could definitely do a whole lot more and just kind of queue those 10-minute videos up. So maybe that's what I'm going to do. Anyways, that is plenty of rambling at this point in time. It mainly has been rambling. So thank you so much for watching. If you stuck around to the end, you are a saint. Because, like I said, it's a ton of rambling. So if you do enjoy this content, if you enjoy what I do here, please consider subscribing, giving the video a thumbs up, leaving a comment on the video when it's done. All of those things I mean, they help more people find this channel. More people who find this channel, hopefully more people will grow this channel. And growing this channel means that, I mean, it's just kind of a fun metric for me at this point, but there's plenty that can be done as this channel grows. But with that, bottoms up.